Well, last week, during a podcast appearance, Hillary Clinton made the lunatic claim that all of her enemies to the left, the right, are actually Russian spies. Now, that was so out there that it took everyone watching an entire week to realize it wasn't the only insane thing that she had said. On the very same podcast, Hillary Clinton also identified a new culprit for her defeat 3 years ago. Mysterious videos that appeared from nowhere and have now vanished without a trace.
Well, I think there's going to be two parts, and I think it's going to be the same as 2016. Don't vote for the other guy. You don't like me, don't vote for the other guy, because the other guy's going to do X, Y, and Z, or the other guy did such terrible things. And I'm going to show you in these, flashing videos that appear and then disappear, and they're on the dark web and nobody can find them. But you're going to see them, and you're going to see that person doing these horrible things.
Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 25th of October, and on today's podcast, as you can see from the intro video, what is going on? My jaw dropped when I saw that this morning. She's actually talking about some video that could show people doing horrible things. The thick ankle dog face is going down. If they release this video in some way, shape, or form, it will wake everyone up. But this has to be strategically placed in order to work. My friends, also I have an article coming at us from the Epoch Times entitled "The Focus of Durham Probe Shifts Toward the Senior Obama Officials." U.S. Attorney reportedly very interested in interviewing former CA Director Brennan and former DNI Clapper. My friends, this is going all the way to the top. This investigation is going to bring down the biggest players, even former presidents, former Secretary of States, you name it. They're all going down. My friends, before we get into today's podcast, would you please welcome my sponsor, Noble Gold. Hey guys, I wanted to tell you about my sponsor, Noble Gold, and what they're offering for the month of October. As you can see, this beautiful Commander-in-Chief coin with Trump having his hand over his heart with the American flag in the background on one side, and on the reverse side, his promise to America. This can be yours, guys, by going to TrumpCoin2020.com and typing in the promo code TRUreporting for $5 off today. So remember, go to TrumpCoin2020.com and type in the promo code TRUreporting for $5 off. Thanks, guys, and enjoy the podcast. All right, guys, it's good to have you aboard. Before we get into today's podcast, would you please go ahead and subscribe to my backup channel, True Reporting 2.0, just in case anything happens to the main channel. Secondly, would you go ahead and click the notification bell so when I post to this channel, you'll be the first to know. And finally, please click that like button. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into it. This is True Reporting. So as you can see from the mind-blowing intro video from Tucker Carlson last night, this is from March 6th of 2018, so we are right on the correct timeline. Post 8:54. If you do not know what's going on right now, if you don't know what video I'm talking about, supposedly there is a video out there of Hillary Clinton and Uma Abedin doing some really, really horrendous things that I can't talk about. So guys, if you do not know what I'm talking about, I'm going to be using a lot of keywords, or not using a lot of keywords, just so I don't get this video pulled and get a strike. So that's the backstory to this, and you'll start to figure it out. You'll start to weed your way through it, feel it out, what I'm talking about. It says here, is the stage set for the drop of the HRC plus raw video 5.5 raw? We have it all. The nail in many coffins, the liberal undo. impossible to defend, toxic to those connected. We must work together. We are only as strong as your voice. You must organize and be heard. This is why they keep you divided and in the dark. So, why is it going to be the liberal undo? The liberal undo is already taking place. I would suggest thinking that when you see the poll for Donald Trump and it says 53%, he's saying you can add another 15 points to that. So we're talking almost a 75% approval rating in this nation. The liberal undo, people don't want this. People don't want you castrating your kids. They don't want you having transgendered men performing at children's libraries. Nobody's into this stuff. Even if you're just a Democrat, I'm talking about this left-wing lunacy. No one's into this. It's strange. It's demonic. By all means, if you're trying to blur the lines between gender, that is ungodly. That's not how things are supposed to work. So the liberal undo is already taking place. And when this video drops, the Democrat Party, which I posted yesterday on a video about, the Democrat Party is about to be buried alive. It's over. Could 2020 be the end of the Democrat Party? Absolutely. Toxic to those connected. Everyone connected into this stuff, from the Anthony Weiner laptop, that laptop, which the Southern District of New York still has. They have this, even though it was collected by the crooked FBI. You better believe that they have a copy of that hard drive somewhere within the Southern District of New York, hidden with patriots. Who else is from New York? Our president, Giuliani. These white hats, they have control of everything. They have it all as read in this post. We have it all as the first line. Stage is set. We must work together. We are only as strong as your voice. Again, this is bringing the republic back to the people. Also, you must organize and be heard. We are doing that. Just like what's taking place in Hong Kong, what's taking place with the Yellow Vest movement. These people are organizing and they're having their voices be heard. And that's when you see the stepping up of people like Boris Johnson, people in Italy, people in Ukraine. They start voting in these presidents and prime ministers, talking about how they are against corruption. They are anti-corruption. Their voices were heard. The people voted in someone that would actually progress their country, push it in the right direction for humanity. This is why they keep you divided and in the dark. You are weaker. We are weaker when we are divided. Together we are strong, and they cannot defeat us. We are here to unite and provide truth. Dark to light. Evil surrounds us. We are fighting for you. Where we go one, we go all. The choice to know will be yours. Absolutely. We are fighting a spiritual battle as of now. We have been doing this since 2016. And again, here's a question from an Anon regarding Hillary's dark web video fake. HRC's video of the dark web video. Is it fake news? 17 replies, fake. We control. So what I'm saying, what I believe this is, and I've talked this over with some people, we have a different idea of some of these things, that the video that was thrown up the other, I don't know, a year ago, year and a half ago, something like that, was fake. But does one exist? Absolutely. They control the video. Could this be the video that she's talking about? She's well aware of it. I'm sure she's heard through the grapevine that, holy smokes, they have a video of me doing something on an ungodly level of hate. They know, she knows that they have it, and they control it. So they can, they are playing 5D chess with these people. They are able to manipulate them. They are basically at the hands of the white hats. It's incredible. Or what it could mean is, if anything is released, if it's not coming from this board or from 17, don't trust it, right? I believe if it doesn't come straight from the president or straight from this board, don't trust it. But there is one that does exist. And my friends, this is mind-blowing. If you really sit back and think about this, what Tucker Carlson is saying and playing for you when Hillary Clinton was on this podcast talking about a video that shows people doing horrible things, flashes of imagery about this, that's what they're talking about. This thing does exist, and we're starting to see glimpses of that today. My friends, let's move on to the next subject to round off the podcast. I know this is a short one, but I had to get this out there as quick as possible. So it says here from the Epoch Times, focus of Durham probe shifts to senior Obama officials. U.S. attorney reportedly very interested in interviewing former CIA Director Brennan and former DNI Clapper. It says here, John Durham, the U.S. attorney tasked with investigating the origins of the FBI's counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign in 2016, is expected to seek an interview with former CIA Director John Brennan and former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper following an expansion of his investigation. And I have a video of that real quick when he was on CNN, so let's go ahead and check that out.
Oversaw the launch of the Russia investigation. What do you make of this?
Well, actually, I'm very curious, since presumably I guess I'm one of those under investigation. And
you just heard about this?
Yes, I just read the clip on about 20 minutes ago. I found the timing interesting, given the increasing heat around the impeachment inquiry, and so the timing's interesting. I'll just let it go at that. And the other thing I wonder about is whether we're talking about the overall investigation of the Russian reporting on the Russian interference, or are we talking about the counterintelligence investigation that was launched in July by the FBI about potential engagement and collusion, whatever you want to call it, between the Russians and the Trump campaign? So,
do you think what do you think
curious
it is?
about what is the alleged criminal activity that prompted this?
Do you have any idea, what they might think may rise to the level of a criminal offense?
No, I don't. That's obviously an item of great interest to me. What is it that any of us did that would rise the level of a criminal infraction?
Well,
and I just don't know.
So, guys, as you can see, James Clapper looks to be terrified. He's just kind of, swaying back and forth. Just doesn't look comfortable. He knows what's going to happen. He knows he's committed treason. He knows that he is part of a deep state cabal that is being dragged down into the depths by the white hats. That's what's taking place. You can see it all over his face. It's unbelievable what's happening, guys. This is a huge turn. I said this the other day. We are seeing a giant turn, and things are shaping up for an incredible 2020, my friends. Going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be historic. We are a part of history. Continuing forward, it was reported that the meetings that Durham and Attorney General William Barr recently had in Rome, where they obtained new evidence that there were impetus for the broadening of the scope of the probe. According to Fox News, Catherine Hettridge, her sources told her that Durham is now very interested to question Brennan and Clapper. According to Herridge, the meeting, in quote, took place on August 15th and September 27th of 2019 in Rome. And it was during one or both of these trips that Barr and Durham gathered new evidence. The news comes following months of speculation about whether the former top Obama officials would be questioned over their involvement in the investigation and the spying on the Trump campaign. Absolutely they did. They're all guilty, and I hope they all hang for it. It was recently revealed in court, in a court motion by the lawyer for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, that the Justice Department DOJ had obtained 2 cell phones belonging to Joseph Misfud, an Maltese professor who has been cited as playing a key role in the FBI's determination to open its probe of the Trump campaign. Earlier this month, on October 5th, Politico reported that Durham had, in quote, not requested interviews with any of the FBI or DOJ employees who were directly involved in or knew about the opening of the Russia investigation in 2016, according to the people familiar with the matter. He's playing them, my friends, playing them. However, according to an October 19th New York Times article, Durham has already interviewed about 24 former and current FBI officials, and that the number of interviews shows that Durham's review is further along than previously known. The paper also reported that Durham's efforts were being aided by 2 former senior FBI agents who were assisting with the review. He's playing them, guys. This is moves and counter moves, telling them that there was no review, there was no looking into certain people, and then boom, it's already happened. That's moves and counter moves. One of the former FBI officials assisting Durham's investigation is reported to be John Eckenrode, who at one point worked with Patrick J. Fitzgerald in 2003 Valerie Plame leak case. Eckenrode reportedly knew Durham from his time as an FBI agent in Connecticut, where Durham was a prosecutor. Eckenrode also ran the FBI's office in Philadelphia prior to his 2006 retirement from the Bureau. It says here, in addition to the dozens of FBI interviews, Durham's investigative team has also reportedly questioned officials in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, although Clapper doesn't appear to have been among those interviewed, nor have Durham or his team yet questioned or interviewed CA personnel. The number of interviews conducted as well as the widening scope suggests that Durham has been gathering all available facts, evidence, and data prior to approaching the central figures in his inquiry. More recently, on October 19th, NBC News reported that Durham has expressed his intent to interview a number of current and former intelligence officials involving in examining Russia's effort to interfere in the 2016 presidential election, including former CA Director John Brennan and former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, both deep state tentacles. Both will be buried under the jail. The outlet also reported that Durham has also requested to talk to CA analysts involved in the intelligence assessment of Russia's activities, prompting some of them to hire lawyers. It's getting real. According to the article, Justice Department officials have said that Durham has found something significant and that critics should be careful. Oh my God. Additionally, NBC News noted that although the probe did not begin as a criminal investigation, Justice Department officials won't comment on whether it has morphed into one. It's definitely a criminal investigation, guys. Brennan himself also told MSNBC, where he is a paid commentator, earlier this month that, in quote, "I'm supposedly going to be interviewed by Mr. Durham as part of this non-investigation." Meanwhile, Fox News reported that, in quote, "based on what he has been finding, Durham has expanded his investigation and has gone through the process of adding agents and resources." Additionally, Fox reported that the timeline has grown from the beginning of the counterintelligence probe through the election and now has included a post-election timeline through the spring of 2017, up to when Robert Mueller was named special counsel. Sometime in mid-2016, Brennan formed an interagency task force headquartered at the CA to investigate foreign intelligence allegations against the Trump campaign. Brennan appeared to describe the task force formation during an August 17, 2018 interview with MSNBC's Rachel Maddow. Maddow says, "So it's an intelligence sharing operation between John Brennan, right. We put together a fusion center at CA that brought National Security Agency and FBI officials together with CA to make sure that those proverbial dots would be connected." Additionally, Brennan and some of his CA analysts, along with Clapper, were responsible for a series of 3 reports that were used to promote the Trump-Russia collusion story. That's treason. The first report was released on October 7th, the second on December 29th. The third report, assessing Russian activities and intentions in recent U.S. elections, also known as the Intelligence Community Assessment, was released January 6th. The ICA claimed that Putin and the Russian government developed a clear preference for the president-elect Trump, and stated that Putin and the Russian government aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances when possible by discrediting Secretary Clinton and publicly contrasting her unfavorably to him. The report played a key role in advancing the now disproven allegations that Trump colluded with Russia, while Brennan denied before Congress that the Steele dossier was used in the ICA. He did attach a 2-page summary of the dossier to the ICA that he, along with Clapper and Comey, delivered to then President Barack Obama on January 6, 2017. Notably, Admiral Mike Rogers, then head of the National Security Agency, publicly dissented from the findings of the ICA, assigning it only a moderate confidence level, and later told Congress that the report didn't have the same level of sourcing and the same level of multiple sources, because it's fake. Use of unofficial foreign intelligence. Brennan also made repeated use of questionable foreign intelligence and passed it along to the FBI. Brennan testified to Congress in May of 2017 that any information, specifically anything involving the individuals involved in the Trump campaign, was shared with the Bureau. Brennan also admitted that it was his intelligence that helped establish the FBI investigation. I was aware of intelligence and information about contacts between Russian officials and U.S. persons that raised concerns in my mind about whether or not those individuals were cooperating with the Russians, either in a witting or unwitting fashion, and it served as the basis for the FBI investigation to determine whether such collusion or cooperation occurred. Clapper personally confirmed foreign intelligence involvement during the congressional testimony May 2017, lying under oath. Senator, here she is, Dianne Feinstein. I haven't heard that name in a while. Where the hell is she at? Over the spring of 2016, multiple European allies passed on additional information to the United States about contacts between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Is this accurate? Clapper, yes it is. And it's also quite sensitive. The specifics are quite sensitive. They're not sensitive because they don't exist. It's just a bunch of lies. But there's a significant problem with Brennan's ongoing transfer of foreign intelligence leading up to the FBI's initiation of counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign. Oh, really? Yeah, there's a huge problem because it's fake. It's a bunch of lies. Representative Devin Nunes, who has been seen the electrical communication that was used to officially open the FBI's counterintelligence investigation, has publicly stated in quotes, "We now know there was no official intelligence that was used to start this investigation. Clapper, Brennan, you are lying." This view has been backed up by former Representative Trey Gowdy, who, while discussing both Brennan and the former FBI Director James Comey, noted, "It's going to be interesting if they begin to turn on one another. I've seen the document. I'm not going to describe it in any more than that. Comey's got a better argument than Brennan, based on what I've seen." The use of reverse targeting. In addition to his use of unofficial foreign intelligence, Brennan appeared to have employed the use of reverse targeting on members of the Trump campaign. Reverse targeting refers to the targeting of a foreign individual with the intent of capturing data on a U.S. citizen. During August 17, 2018, with his interview with Mad Dog, Brennan said the following: "We call it incidental collection in terms of CA's foreign intelligence collection authorities. Anytime we would incidentally collect information on a U.S. person, we would hand that over to the FBI because they had the legal authority to do it. We would not pursue that type of investigative, sort of leads. We would give it to the FBI. So we were picking things up as if they were great relevance to the FBI. And we wanted to make sure that they were there so they could piece it together with whatever they were collecting domestically here. However, under the laws governing the U.S. surveillance, the identities of the U.S. citizens are supposed to be protected." Exactly. Provisions known as minimization procedures are intended to protect information incidentally collected on U.S. citizens in the course of foreign surveillance. Hey, who's surveilling us? Oh, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of these. They are all collecting our data and they're selling it abroad for cash. That's what they're doing. This is all DARPA. This is all military, a form of military operation to make cash. This is part of the military-industrial complex. There's a good side and a very, very evil side. It says here, more importantly, the collection described by Brennan doesn't appear to have been incidental, but rather targeted. As this foreign intelligence, unofficial in nature and outside of the traditional channels, was gathered on members of the Trump campaign, Brennan began his process of feeding this intelligence to the FBI. Repeated transfers of the foreign intelligence from the CA director helped push the FBI towards establishing a formal counterintelligence investigation. These actions by Brennan may be precisely why both Barr and Durham focused on the event leading up to the FBI's initiation of their investigation into the Trump campaign. Durham's investigation is reportedly of a broader scope than the investigation into the FISA abuse by Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz. Barr has said that the Inspector General's investigation is focused on, and quote, a discrete area, which is the use of electronic surveillance that was targeted at the Trump campaign volunteer Carter Page, and is limited to officials within the DOJ. Even so, Durham has reportedly been in contact with Horowitz, whose investigation had grown to include more than 2,800 subpoenas, nearly 500 search warrants, 13 requests to foreign governments for evidence, and interviews of about 500 witnesses, according to the Washington Examiner. The IG's investigative efforts have likely served to assist Durham with the direction and scope of his ongoing investigation. As Barr noted in May of 2019 interview with the CBS News, in quote, I have a lot of questions about what was going on. I assumed I'd get answers when I went in, and I have not gotten the answers that are satisfactory. And in fact, I have more questions, and that some of the facts I have learned don't hang together with the official explanations of what happened. And guys, we are watching a movie, plain and simple. We are watching an investigation unfold in front of us that's gone from just an investigation into perhaps criminal. Now it is criminal. We are seeing a push in the right direction for freedom of the American people. This is going to bring down so many big-time deep state players, and when the top fall, it's just like the domino effect that we always see that meme, guys. That's what's going to take place. And as for HRC, that video I'm sure will come out. There will probably be flash imagery, something of that sort. Obviously, it will be censored, but we'll get the gist of it, and it's going to blow people's minds. It really is. 99.9% of people cannot handle the truth that is going to be unfolding here I think very soon, guys. If you found this informative and you enjoyed it, my friends, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. Don't forget to leave a like. You can donate to this channel and keep it afloat by going to my PayPal. We have a completely revamped Patreon with plenty of perks for you guys. My platform is your platform. I'm giving back to you if you sign up on Patreon. We also have a P.O. box if that interests you, and also True Reporting merch. Guys, the weekend is here, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you tonight from 8 to 9 p.m. for a live call-in show. We got a lot to talk about, guys. So I hope to see you there. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.